Hey guys, and welcome to Rough Gear Review. Today we're having a look at the AR57. Now, if you're not familiar with the 5.7 platform, this particular rifle shoots the 5.7 by 28 millimeter round. Now, that round was developed by FN, and it was developed at the request of NATO to find a replacement for the 9 millimeter. Now, FN and HK both went into this, and they both had slightly different rounds that they were trying to replace the 9 millimeter with. NATO finally decided on the one from FN, the 5.7, but ultimately that idea was scrapped, and they didn't standardize it, and they didn't replace the 9 millimeter. But that round is used in about 40 different countries right now by their police and their military, and as a matter of fact, it's used here in the U.S. by the Secret Service. FN makes the P90 and the 5.7 pistol. The P90 is a personal defense weapon. You might be familiar with it. There's the PS90 that's available to civilians. And those are the two platforms that FN's making for the 5.7 round. Now, when we went into this, we had told a couple of guys around here that we were going to pick up a 5.7 and we were going to do a review on that. And a lot of them said the same thing, like, isn't that just a 22? What's the purpose of that? And I think there was a little confusion. I think when people are talking about this being compared to a 22, what they're talking about is the 22 Hornet, not the 22 long rifle. And there's a huge difference between those two rounds as well. Just to give you kind of an example, the 22 long rifle is 5.7 by 15. And 5.7 is the diameter of the bullet, and 15 is the length of the casing. This, obviously, like we've been talking about, is 5.7 by 28. The 22 Hornet is 5.7 by 35. So you can see they're talking about a 22 Hornet round, not a 22 long rifle. So there's a big difference, and I think it caused a little bit of confusion. These aren't wildly popular. You're not going to see a ton of people that have the 5.7 round, and when that happens, a lot of people just aren't familiar with it, and I think that's where the confusion came from. For us, this rifle has been a lot of fun. We were pretty excited to get our hands on it, and we were excited to take that out and try it out. A couple things about that round. Originally, it was designed to penetrate body armor. Now, the ones that you're getting here in the U.S. are for sporting purposes, so they're not the same round as what the military was using. And also, it has 30% less recoil than a 9 millimeter. And, recoil is a big deal. The less felt recoil, the better you stay on target. To tell you the truth with this, and you'll see it in the video, our target's about 50 meters away. It's a 12 by 12 steel target, and I can, be right on target with this thing as fast as I can pull the trigger. And I love that. I can sit out there and rapid fire this thing over and over and over, and I stay right on target the entire time. And that's awesome. Now think about it if you were using a P90, a full auto weapon that you could unload a 50 round magazine and stay right on target. And that's another thing with this. This magazine here, if you're not in a restrictive state, is 50 rounds. That's a lot of firepower, especially on a platform that you can, keep right on target. The P90 has an effective range of about 200 meters. The 5.7 handgun has an effective range of about 50 meters, and those are according to FN. Now this has a 16-inch barrel, so we'd probably get an even better effective range out of this, considering the P90 only has a 10.5-inch barrel. So, it's a good round. Granted, it hasn't caught on that much yet, and I think maybe that's why you might read some negative comments about it. I know that we always, before we put up a review, we do post on a certain forum, and we get a little feedback here and there from people, and a lot of people had some negative things to say about it, and also a lot of guys in the forum kept asking, what is the purpose of that? Well, in reality, we're not at war. We review guns, so the purpose of that round is for us to go out and have some fun. I'm not sure what he was getting at, but you know, if he's talking about if that round would make you have a really bad day, a 22 long rifle round will make you have a really bad day. So I'm not sure what he was getting at, but you know, this platform's been a blast, and we would show you a comparison of some of the bolts right now, but we can't because it was so much fun. We ate through all the ammo that we had picked up for it, and that also is one thing. It's not as readily available because it's not, you know, wildly popular. We end up having to order ours through the internet to get it down here. None of our local gun shops ever seem to carry the 5.7 ammo, but it's also not outrageously expensive either. Average, we're picking up 50 rounds for about $22. So that's not bad at all. We'll talk about this platform here. So this is, you know, different from what you're seeing with the PS90 and the 5.7 handgun from FN. This is an upper from 57center.com. That's where we picked this up. And this is basically the upper that attaches to your standard AR-15 lower. So your controls on your AR-15, on the lower, all you're getting is your safety. That's the only thing on the lower that'll work or is even relevant. Magazine release, it's irrelevant. The bolt release, that's irrelevant because it's not going to stay open after the last round. And the reason, because you're not putting in a magazine. Matter of fact, this is where the spent shells come out of. They just drop straight down. This is the magazine here on top. So, you know, the reason, obviously, that you don't get that last round, the bolt holding open, is there's not a follower to engage that. So, on this, and also unlike, you know, an AR platform where it uses gas to push the bolt back, this is just a straight blowback. When you buy this from 5.7 Center, it comes with no optics. It's a monolithic upper. It's machined out of 7075 T6 aluminum. It's going to come with a 16-inch fluted barrel. Has a flash hider on it. If you're in a restrictive state, you're going to have to change out the magazine release to something from Radlock. Otherwise, it's going to have an ambidextrous release that'll be up on top. Magazine comes right out. On our model here, we ended up putting Magpul flip-up sights, and we went with a RMR from Trijicon. And it was a nice feature is that we flip up our sights and they co-witness with this RMR. So it was real nice. And one reason we went with this RMR is you're going to notice back here on this rail, it's very small. There's not a lot of space there. That's because the top is pretty much all taken up by this magazine. So we had to be kind of, you know, choosy on what optic we were going to put on this. We wanted to have backup sights on it, and that is what dictated the optic that we put on. I think another optic that would work really well would be the Aimpoint Micro. I think that would fit on here well. We might try that out here in the future. Also, when you pick this up, it's going to come with a different buffer from AR57, so you don't use your standard AR-15 buffer in here. Magazines, you can get them from FN or you can get them from 5.7 Center. They don't suggest that you use anything but their magazines or factory FN magazines. They say there's been some issues with the other aftermarket stuff. But the magazines aren't wildly expensive. You can pick up, you know, factory FN magazines for about 25 bucks for a 50 rounder. Pretty sure we paid about 30 bucks for these magazines from 5.7 Center, so, you know, they're not outrageous. And other than that, this has been a real fun gun. We're going to take this apart. We're going to show you its inner workings, and we'll show you some video of us shooting this. And, you know, one of the big points on this gun is how accurate and easy it is to shoot. You know, if you're someone that wants a gun that has real low recoil, maybe you had shoulder surgery, you know, who knows what the deal is, but, you know, you could use something like this and you have real low recoil. If you're not in a restrictive state, you got a lot of firepower there. 50 rounds. You can go all day long with 50 rounds. So it's nice. We're real impressed with this. It's a nice gun. Real fun to shoot. Haven't had any issues with it so far. We just pretty much got this. At this point, we're about 500 rounds into it. And, we'll come back and we'll do another video here in a few months. We hit 1,000, 1,500 rounds. I don't think that's going to take much time for us to get it all, since we have a lot of fun shooting this. And we'll report back, let you guys know how this gun's holding up. Okay, guys, here is the AR57. A couple things on this. One, when you extend it, you're going to have an overall length of about 37 inches. And this rifle is going to come in at 7.4 pounds unloaded. Comes apart just as easy as any standard AR-15. Push out your rear pin. And that's it. Tilt up your upper from your lower. Take out the front pin. And separate the upper from the lower. As you can see, this is just a standard AR-15 lower. So you're all pretty familiar with that. The buffer, like I said, is different. It's going to come with the package from AR57. Put that aside. And when you buy this, basically what you're going to get the monolithic upper, you're going to get that buffer, and that's it. Price on this is about $750. You're going to need to supply your optics, your flip-up sights. Doesn't come with any of that, and you're going to have to buy a magazine. All in all, I didn't think it was that bad of a price. It's about almost what you're paying for complete AR-15 uppers anyways. So, here's your bolt. And your firing pin in there, and you can see this is just a straight blowback. Unlike on an AR where you would have a part here for the gas tube, there's nothing to it. And that's it. So this gun is very simple. Very few moving parts. And so far, that 500 rounds that we took out and shoot, the gun was very reliable. Didn't have any problem at all. And a lot of times when there's very few moving parts, that helps with the reliability of something. And that's it. There's not much to this. And now we're going to show you some video of us shooting this gun. Okay guys, that was our look at the AR-57 utilizing the 5.7 by 28 millimeter round. If you're like us and you have a whole bunch of AR-15s already, you got a few lowers laying around, you want to build something a little different, I would highly recommend this. We're very happy that we picked this up. This is a reliable, accurate, and really fun gun to shoot. We're very happy with this. Also, I wouldn't discount the 5.7 by 28 millimeter round, despite what you might read on some forums and some things you're hearing. It's a great round. Little quick, 2 cents here. We go on the forum a lot. We read a lot of stuff there. There is a lot of really, really knowledgeable people on those forums. There's also a lot of guys that just have no idea what they're talking about. And they always seem to have a lot of negative things to say. And I just kind of always warn people that are new to the sport, be cautious when you go on those forums looking for advice, cautious about what you read and what guys are saying. In our experience, in my experience, there's just a lot of people that just don't like anything. And they don't like things that they don't have. I don't get that. But if they're not using it, then it's not good enough for anybody else. So careful what you read on there. Like I said, don't discount this round. As far as I'm concerned, it's awesome. We had a lot of fun with it, and I like the round a lot too. I'm looking forward to our next 2 pickups. Is going to be a PS90 and a FN57 pistol. That's how much I like this round, and that's how much I like that reduced recoil. And I like that effective range that this round has. So I like it a lot. So, like I said, looking to build something else? you might want to look into this. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.